Hello YouTubers, this is Joe the Cardboard King coming at you with another tutorial. This tutorial will be about explaining how I made my Predator mandible system, and it's done by a pulley system. Okay, and but first of all, let me go into detail on how I made this badass and awesome guy here. Okay, um, the crown right here, and the eyebrows and the snout and the bottom of the jaw where the teeth are. Um, it's made from 8 crates, glue, and water, and you make it into a paste. And once it dries off, it real hard. It stays in place. So anything you make will stay in place. The teeth right here, um, I used from an old Halloween necklace that I bought at a Halloween store. So I did not make these. These were store bought. Although you can make your own from those little plastic beads. They're little beads, and you put them in hot water, and you can make stuff out of them. I believe it's called polymold. I think that's what it's called. I'm not too sure about that. Um, but anyway, in here is a coat hanger, a wire coat hanger, or a hanger, a wire hanger right here, and on the outside of it is a straw from an industrial pump soap dispenser or other type of dispenser. Those that's what that is. That's the straw is from. And then inside here, there's another straw in between the or I slid it through, and then slid the wire hanger in through here to hold it in place so it won't move too much while I hot glue it in here and on the inside of the here. Okay, um, as you can see from the inside of it, this is the thick straw from the industrial pump straw, and then on the inside there's another little straw in there. But before I glued that together, I slid this spring right here. The spring was from a little miniature stapler that you can buy from Office Supply, or maybe you can order them online. And I'll show you you guys the material that I use for that, and give you the an idea of more or less of how I make that. But anyway, so I put that spring in there with a little screw here and a little nut on the inside, so that stays in place. And all those little holes are just the trial and error to find the tension for the mandible. But the whole system is done by a toggle bolt. Okay, a small little toggle bolt. And I took the original spring mechanism from the toggle bolt out because I believe it wasn't going to be sufficient enough tension to bring that mandible back in place. So that's why I added this spring for those miniature staplers, and set it in place. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so that's what that is. And so what I did in a sense is made a little hole. You guys can see that I made a little hole right here, almost toward the back of the toggle bolt, and I tied it to that straw to the wire hanger, and then looped it and pulled it so it stays in place, and then fit that fishing wire line that I'm using. I fit that through the little hole, and then it goes around this pulley. The pulley, I believe you can buy them at Amazon, or maybe Wish app will carry the little small the small little pulleys here. So it goes around this pulley, uh, down here to this washer, and it's poked right through, and it's poked on the side, and then I just tied it and pulled it in place, so it stays in place. So these washers are super glued in place, so um, because if I didn't, it was gonna rip the cardboard, and it was gonna pull that wire out. So it gives him more of stability to hold that in place, to hold that wire in place. So that's why those little washers are for. So the same system that's applied to this, the bottom mandible, is applied to the bottom mandible down here, but it's just up here, and it's fed down to here, this to this bottom pulley to the toggle bolt, and it's tied down there to the spring, and that's what opens this bottom mandible. So let me give you guys a demonstration if I can. There you go. So there's the bottom mandibles and the top mandible, open and close. Um, it was getting a little hung up here, so I may add like a little uh, plastic Coke bottle or something down here, so the this wire right here doesn't go in between, and eventually the mandible would probably just stay open right here because it gets lodged in here. So that's what I plan to do, is probably maybe glue a section of a Coke bottle or something, and bring it down here so this wire doesn't fall in, to because if not, that mandible is gonna stay in there and it's gonna stay open. So I'm probably gonna do that. Probably gonna add like a little section of a plastic piece right here, just so to prevent that wire from sliding in. But so before I flesh this guy out with the bodysuit that I bought, and it was I bought a bodysuit, and it's already painted the color tone of a Predator, so I don't have to paint anything. So that's gonna be awesome. But and then I'm gonna use some type of adhesive glue, and tape the that cloth over, and glue it to the mandible too, so it has that flesh type of a curve, for the mandible. And but before I flesh it out, I tend to build this up with some foam to give it the natural mandible skull. So it's gonna have a natural skull built right here, and then drape the cloth over that, so it'll really look like a mandible, to give it like the mandible's jaw structure, you know of the Predator. That's what I plan to do for that. And then on my for as far as for my Predator dreadlocks, I'm gonna use Baccarat, and you can buy it in a bag, and it you can probably find it at Home Depot, maybe Lowe's. And it's what Baccarat is. It's a round foam, a round solid foam that you can stuff into crevices of your window, or your door, crevices of your door, to prevent the elements from coming in, or insects or stuff like that. So it's to prevent that. So you can shove it in there, like stuff it in there, and then silicone it or whatever, and prevent moisture from coming in. So that's what Baccarat is. It comes in a swirl, and then I'm gonna buy some automotive electrical housing, and it also comes in a swirl packets, and I'm gonna cut them into sections, and that's gonna be for the dreadlock jewelry, I guess, is what you would call it. That's what I'm gonna use for the jewelry dreadlocks, is electrical automotive electrical housing. So that's what I'm gonna use for the dreadlocks. But I'll shoot another tutorial once I finish this badass and awesome guy. But that's it. That's how I made my Predator mandible system, is by pulley system. Let me show you what I used. The materials is this stuff right here is what I use for the pulley system. This is the fishing wire line. This is what it is right here. All right, and the spring right here that I used is from a little miniature stapler. These right here. If you can order them or find them at Office Depot. It's I took the little spring off from here. I took it off, and that's what I use for this. Is the little miniature stapler spring. All right. Um, I use these type of little nuts, and that's the size of it right there. You can find these at Home Depot, and that's what goes on the inside of the little screw. These are the little screws that I bought. That's the size right there. Okay, that's the size for the little screw right here. And so those are the materials that you're gonna need. Right here, you're gonna need that the little miniature stapler for the spring, some screws, some nuts, and the most important part of it is this right here, the fishing wire line that that I bought. Okay, and as far as the materials that you're gonna need to make this predator face mask is you're gonna need a pair of wire cutters for the coat, the hanger, the wire hanger. Sorry, the wire hanger. So you're gonna need a pair of that. You're gonna need a poker to poke the little hole and on the center and on the side, and then tie it. So you're gonna need a poker. All right. You're gonna need some type of something to make that hole the right size. I'm using a chopstick, a plastic chopstick, because it's tapered. It's small at the tip, and then starts getting bigger as far as it goes down to the end. And so you can judge on how big your hole you want your hole to fit the screw. So that's what I use, is a chopstick, plastic chopstick, and then I use a Phillips screwdriver, depending on the head of your screw. If it's a Phillips or a straight head, you may need a straight head for that, for your predator, depending on the screws. So, but that's it. Those are the tools and the material that I use to build this awesome and badass guy here. But please comment and subscribe. I appreciate that. Support my channel. And that's it for now, guys. Thank you guys for watching. All right. Okay.